What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about two particular groups of like anti-Xbox fanboys. I can't even call them PlayStation fanboys. Maybe they are PlayStation fanboys, but man, they are in their feelings today, extremely in their feelings today, because two games and these two people, ever since the concept of coming to life for Forza Motorsport and Starfield, Nico and JTech have been on a tirade to diminish the launch of these two games. They've been on a tirade to sort of resurrect these games, I guess, biggest competitors. So Nicola, right, has been trying to play for GT7 into another whole new game. It's like the launch of Forza coming has him so tripped out that he's forcing himself to play GT7. He's, playing in VR and trying to add all these things to try to declare it better than Forza. Nobody's thinking about GT, bro. Yes, VR could be great, whatever, but the thing about VR, Nico, nobody's playing it, man. Nobody's playing. If every time you see Nico tweet about GT, it's either about its VR feature or it's about how much better it looks than Forza. It's nothing really about appreciating the game itself. It's always to like, you know what, this is better. Nothing looks better. Nothing looks better. And he can't handle the fact that both Forza games that exist has just been the best racing games. You know what I mean? Both Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon have just been better than GT for the better half of 10 years, what it feels like, right? He can't handle it. And I think what's bothering Nico is that Forza coming out is going to be the first game on console to feature, no 4K, 60 FPS, and ray tracing, all at the same time. It's not going to be reserved to like some garage mode or reserved to replay like GT, right? And that is inciting fear. So what he's doing is he's pretty much speaking like he's eliminated the fact that Forza is a great looking game. So he's saying, GT7 as this day, I don't know how old GT7 is. Maybe it came out. What did it come out? Anyway, that he's saying that it looks better and that it's overall better experience because Xbox doesn't have VR. We don't have VR on Xbox, so by default GT7 is better. So he's been pushing this and he's been amping it up. Every time there's some good news about like Forza or a new preview that shows up, he's pretty much been pushing and that's been his defense. It's like he's almost playing it up as if GT7 is like relaunching again. And he's using that against Forza. And at the end of the day, and I just banged my knee, that hurt. Forza, when it comes out, October, it's likely going to score mid to high 80s, which would put it above GT again. I mean, the last two GT games have been, I think, 70 rated games or something like that. Between GT Sport, GT7, I don't know where that is, but they've scored significantly lower than what Forza and Forza Horizon have scored. The next person we got here, which is JTech. Just as adamant JTech has, as Nico has been with Forza, JTech has been with No Man's Sky. It's like these guys are like Starfield's about to come out. It's getting hype. People are playing it. The previews are out, and it's being received relatively well. These guys he's pretty much using No Man's Sky as like, oh my God, I'm playing Starfield. He's telling us how much better No Man's Sky is. Now, No Man's Sky has been out for the better half of 6-7 years. Is had 8 years of content updates and upgrades and whatnot. So the game that you get in No Man's Sky today is completely different than what was there, day one. So sure, it's a better No Man's Sky game today. But he's using this as to combat like Starfield, as if he's like trying to rally the troops to play No Man's Sky, as if this game is launching like it's like as if it's a brand new game. People played No Man's Sky, either you liked it or you didn't. But what I can say based off from what I see of No Man's Sky, what I know of No Man's Sky, obviously, I have access to Starfield. Like I said, my opinion on it will be coming soon. Only thing I can clearly say, to me, is nothing like No Man's Sky, but these guys feel that it is, and so he's making himself like and play No Man's Sky because he's too insecure. He doesn't, want to get a PC. He doesn't want to get an Xbox and buy Starfield. He doesn't want to feel left out. So the way of defending his FOMO or defending the left out effect is that he's going to diminish Starfield by pretty much calling it a No Man's Sky clone or saying No Man's Sky is better. And his whole timeline over the past, what feels like week, has been about No Man's Sky comparisons. It's literally been about No Man's Sky comparisons to Starfield. Every time he tweets No Man's Sky, it's a hashtag Starfield. This is literally what he's doing. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So that's what these guys come to. Nicola doing it consistently with Forza, making it a he wants GT7 to be better. He wants GT7 to be in the spotlight. He wants to he's talking. It's like they do this every time Xbox launches like a game, bro. Every time Xbox launches a game that might be a hit. It's like when Halo Infinite come out, fucking Wooly and all them was tweeting all of a sudden about fucking Killzone. Like, really? Killzone? Shadowfall? Like, oh my god, look how good Killzone and Shadowfall is. You didn't notice this 10 years ago? Now you want to give it props? You want to give it props now? Now you want to give it props? It's like No Man's Sky's been out for a better half of 7-8 years. Now you think it's good? Now. You ain't tweet all about it for the last 8 years. Now you tweet about it. Now you want to give it all the credit and the props. Like for example, GT7, like Forza have been consistent with his releases. So Nicola has been fighting Forza games. Him and that stupid dude that always try to take these like cherry pick screenshots. He's been using GT7 against the last 3 Forza releases, bro. Like Forza Horizon 5, he used GT7. Now it's Forza Motorsport's turn, which comes out 2-3 years after Forza Horizon 5. He uses that same game to fight. It's like, bro, like it's an F, bro. If you guys are going to these measures to bring these games up, you go into these old ass games or these irrelevant ass games that nobody else is playing to try to defend your FOMO or to defend your insecurities against these new Xbox games. It's like, dude, you have a problem, dude. I think, Nico, don't you have an Xbox? It's not that big of a deal. You can play the game. Game Pass is relatively cheap, right? You play the game, judge it, shit on it, whatever, because you got to play it. You use that in your Chica armor and go about your business, right? Same thing with I don't know if JTech has an Xbox or not, but it's like it's unnecessary things that they do, and they got this following that's advocating this type of nonsense, and it doesn't make any sense. It's just ridiculous, and it's insecurity, and I think they're really kind of just scared, and it's weird. It's just video games. There's a high chance that Starfield scores pretty well, and despite everything that everybody's saying before the games come out, and everybody's trying to it's like all the leaks, everybody's utilizing their cell phone with these shitty ass images and stuff like that. Yeah, you keep doing that, but when the game comes out, it's well received, and it gets whatever the scores that it's going to get. If it's good, we know you're not going to be around. You're going to be quiet as a church mouse, man. You're not going to be around. I know if the game scores at 89 or below, essentially, they'll have room to talk, because my expectation is this game's going to be a 90 rated game. Even though 80s would be good, but my expectations 90, but anything, because pretty much if it's not 90, it's bad. That's what most games are pretty much today, right? So, and we know about Forza. Forza, it's its own, like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the last 3 or 4 Forza games scored about 90. Forza Motorsports is usually a mid to high 80s game. We know Forza is going to score better than GT7, and I think it has these people them bothered. And what they're gonna do is, if these games both score relatively well, the only thing they're gonna have have to pretty much fight with if they're going to rely on Digital Foundry. They're going to rely on Digital Foundry to point out any flaw. And if Digital Foundry's not point out enough flaws, they're going to go to NX Gamer because he favors a PlayStation, and when Xbox games have flaws, he dives deep into them. So they're going to rely on those. Once they have those findings, despite the high review scores and that everybody's excited for the game and playing it, they're going to utilize whatever Digital Foundry or NX Gamer find in those games technically, to use that to combat the game until the noise around those two games calms down. But that's how sorry these PlayStation fanboys are, and it's sad, so we go and pray for them. As always, guys, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace. Peace.